Other opens with a faceless corpse in a lake, a woman in a creepy mask, and an alarm blaring like your smoke detector during a seance. Someone loses their face before the first 5 minutes, and trust me, that's not even the weird part. Because underneath all that horror, there's a secret buried that'll make you question what you just watched. So let's talk about it. Hey everyone, it's Wes from Atomic Cult Media, where we peel back the layers of movies that either mess your mind or waste your night. And sometimes both. Today we're diving into Other, a psychological horror that starts strong, builds tension, and then face plants into the deep end of trauma and mother issues. But don't worry, I'll keep the therapy session part of this discussion locked in the spoiler section, because I have to talk about this ending. But hit that like button and let's dive into this bizarre movie. The story follows Alice, played by Olga Kurylenko, who returns to her childhood home after her mother's death, only to find it unchanged except for the part where it's haunted as hell. She's alone, surrounded by alarms, faceless people, and creeping presence that feels like it's always watching. The cinematography's claustrophobic, the lighting's muted, and it all feels like one long panic attack, and that's a good thing. But beneath the surface, there's something far more personal. But we'll get into that later, because this movie hides its real horror behind the walls. So it's basically just starring Olga Kurylenko, and I'm glad she's getting work after she was killed in the first 5 minutes of The Thunderbolts. But you also probably remember her from Quantum of Solace, Oblivion, and Centurion. This time she's basically doing a one-woman horror marathon. She's in nearly every frame, reacting to noise, memories, and entities that may or may not exist. Also, half the movie, she doesn't have pants on. So that's a positive in my book, and I'll give her credit. She commits, but it's a lot to ask one person who's not really known for their acting prowess to carry every emotional beat, every scare, and every line of dialogue. There's no real co-stars. It's just off-camera voices and blurred faces. It's experimental, but also kind of exhausting after a while. An interesting take, not showing people's faces in a movie where people's faces are getting eaten. It starts to feel a little played out halfway through. The sound design is actually pretty great. Every creak and metallic hum feels intentional, like the house itself is alive. Now I'll just start with the positive here, because, the movie kind of nails a few things. First, the found footage style prologue. We open with someone investigating a lake where a faceless boy was dumped. The way it transitions into the main story is sort of seamless. It's eerie, it's grounded, and immediately kind of hooks you. Then we meet this mysterious masked lady with alarms flashing red. She steps outside, the sound distorts, and bam, face eaten. It's kind of chaotic opener, and it promises something dark and nasty, which I was on board for. And the creature scenes, and we'll get into what happens later on in the movie, but the creature scenes are fantastic because it's like the skittering movement in the shadow. It's like perfectly timed. The house feels alive, like it's holding its breath for you. And like I said, the decision to hide every character's face except for Alice's is kind of clever at first. It makes you feel trapped in her distorted world, like you're sharing her paranoia. It's a bold, creative choice, and early on it really works, but I've also got to shout out the special effects as well. There's some legitimately solid gore, not overdone, but enough to make you wince. The first 30 minutes I thought, this could be something special. Then the movie remembered it wanted to be deep. The problem starts once Other shifts from horror into, well, let's call it monologue therapy. What begins as a chilling haunted house setup turns into one long meditation on trauma, which would be fine except it's handled with all the subtlety of a brick to the face. Kurylenko does her best, but carrying an entire psychological meltdown solo, it's rough, and you start to feel like the movie's stuck in emotional quicksand. Again, she's not known for her acting prowess. The same tone, the same pacing, and way too many scenes of Alice staring into the void while whispering about pain. And the no faces gimmick, like by the halfway mark, it's no longer eerie, it's distracting. You're thinking, oh cool, another person with a blurry head, or talking to you through a broken screen, or whatever. And the middle act absolutely drags. The dialogue starts chasing its own tail, trying to spell out metaphors that were already pretty obvious. And by the 70-minute mark, I was like, okay, either show me the monster or let the house foreclose already. So before I start talking about the ending and what really happened, hit hit the like button if you're enjoying this review, and maybe subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of small movie reviews. If you want to support the channel a little further, join our YouTube membership or our Patreon. Also, if you're on mobile, hit that hype button. It really helps small channels like this. You get 3 hypes a week. I would love to get one of those. So prepare yourself. This is where Other takes a big swing. We start finding old diary entries from Alice's teenage years, hinting at a dark secret her mother tried to bury. When she was 17, she got pregnant by her high school boyfriend. Her mother found out, and what happens next is horrifying. There's a disturbing home video sequence showing her mother attacking her, and we realize the trauma Alice has been repressing isn't just metaphorical, because the creature haunting her home, it's not a ghost, it's her son. Throughout the film, this strange toy keeps trying to spell other. The voice repeats incorrect. Turns out it's trying to spell mother. The M key is missing. Once she finds out, everything clicks. Alice's mother had secretly raised the child, locking him in the basement, abusing him, treating him like an animal. The alarms, they were for him. The collar, his. Eventually, he snapped, killed the grandmother, and now he's trying to reach Alice. The final act is a bittersweet reunion in a hospital. We see the boy's face and he's normal. The only other face we see in the movie. No monster, no mutation, just a damaged kid warped by years of abuse. The movie leaves their fate ambiguous, and while the twist is thematically rich, it also feels weirdly offbeat, like a heavy melodrama snuck into a horror movie. You either find it haunting or laugh because it's way too much. So overall, I'm gonna give Other, not The Other. There's another movie called The Other, but I'm going to give The Other a 2 out of 5. Other is an ambitious film that starts creepy, builds tension pretty nicely, and then collapses under its own symbolism. The visuals are great, the sound is fantastic, and the core idea is kind of, it seems kind of brilliant on paper, but the execution is just too slow, too self-serious, and too enamored with its own misery. The talent's here in moments that really shine, but when your horror becomes a metaphor salad, it's time to call it a night. But what did you think of Other? Are you interested in seeing it now? And if you watch the spoilers, what do you think of that ending? Does it sound wild to you? Let me know down in the comments below. If you dug this video, hit that like button. Click here to subscribe. Click here to see my other horror movie reviews. If you want to support the channel a little further, we have YouTube memberships and our Patreon right here. And if you're on mobile, hit that hype button. It really helps small channels like this. You get 3 hypes a week. I would love to get one of those. And I'll see you later. Bye.